Welcome to ASD Shine Bright. This is the podcast where we feature all the greatest and awesome things happening in the Anchorage School District. I'm Corey Young. I'm here at Romig Middle School, and we're here with the Romig Mathletes. Pretty awesome. How are you guys doing?
Okay.
Good. Awesome. They have a very storied tradition starting back in '86, before some of you guys were even born, and then went through the 2000s, probably still before you guys were born, but you guys are continuing the tradition on. I'm gonna first talk to Ben Walker. He's an awesome science teacher here at Romig, and he's also the assistant coach for the Mathletes. Please tell me a little bit about the program and just like what you guys do.
Yeah, so MathCOUNTS is the official name of the actual program. It's a national program sponsored by nationally by the big engineering firm like Raytheon or something. Locally here, sponsored by engineers, and it's just a chance to get together, do some problem solving in math. The fun part about it is that it's different problems than you might be used to, and not very, like textbooky problems, a lot of real world problems, a lot of application problems. It has a team concept where there's a round where students work together to solve problems. And so we meet a couple days a week at lunch, make it fun, have some competitions, and the kids just really embrace the love of math. We got some mathlete gear here for our Romig Mathletes. We got problems. You want to turn around, Grace? We got pie on the back. We keep washing it, but the pie just won't come out. I don't know what's going on there. So just try to really up the love of math. Math has kind of this stigma sometimes for kids, and we try to just instill that it can be fun, and it can be interesting, and it's not just like this linear thing that you get through. One of the great parts about MathCOUNTS too is that all the problems and stuff is completely free, so there's no cost to actually set it up. It's nice to have snacks and things like that, but the problems in the curriculum itself is free, and then it really ties into upper level math and into standardized tests like SATs and stuff like that. So it's good practice, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then there's a local, national, and state competition. And these three here are all going to Washington D.C. here in about a week or so to participate in the national competition, as well as one student from Kenai who's also representing Alaska. So yeah, it'll be a good time.
I love it. That's super awesome. When I was a kid, you probably have heard this from your fellow classmates, you always ask the question to the teacher, I'm never going to do this. Like, when am I ever going to see this problem? And so I apologize in advance to all my math teachers, because I used to say that, and I actually use math in every aspect of my life. You know what I mean? From the grocery store to your taxes to just figuring out just different things. It's super interesting. And so I think that's super awesome. Brooke, we'll start with you. If you can kind of talk about, like, how do you train for something like this? I know a lot of people are like, well, don't you just do your regular stuff you do in school? Like, tell me specifically how you train for this.
Oh, yeah. So our teachers actually have lunch practices for us about 2 days a week. I usually don't go to those since I have other clubs. And what I do instead is I practice at home with my parents. They've been a huge help. My mom and my dad, they're both engineers, and they're both really, really good at math, and they've helped me a lot. So basically what I do is I go through past competition rounds, and I go and I do the problems, and then I go over the answers with them, and they help me with anything I don't need. And sometimes they can't even solve the problems, so I'd have to go ask my friends or my coaches. And yeah, it's just a lot of stuff at home, like maybe an hour a day, maybe maybe more, maybe less. Yeah, but you just kind of do some problems and learn some new stuff.
I love it. So Grace, you're up next. Grace is a 7th grader. Luke and Brooke are 8th graders. As a 7th grader coming into this, you have a kind of storied tradition. What made you want to be part of this, and then how do you feel like as you are in the competition itself?
So when I was in elementary school, we also had a MathCOUNTS program. I was at Rogers Park. All of us have gone to Rogers Park, and they also have like a club. We meet after school, and 5th and 6th graders can both compete or participate in the actual practices, but only 6th graders will compete in the actual competition. So about 5th grade, I started actually training for it. And both my sisters, I have 2 older sisters, they both went to Rogers Park and Romig. They also did MathCOUNTS. So my mom was really invested in MathCOUNTS. She wanted me to be really to participate in it. So that's when I started practicing in 5th grade. Yeah.
Luke, same question for you, perspective and kind of what do you do? So you're in the competition. Obviously there's 4 of you guys, that's awesome, with the Kenai person. As you've been to nationals before?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't been? Okay.
First time.
First time, awesome, that's awesome. Can you tell me a little bit how you're preparing? Do you use flashcards? Do you do something like what Brooke was saying for parents, with your teachers? Tell me that.
So when I do prepare, it's usually just a website called MathCOUNTS Trainer, which goes through like past database, like a database of past problems, and just shows you them. And if you get it right, you can level up and unlock harder sets. I've done it quite a lot in the past. Haven't really done it much now, but still, yeah.
I love it. Awesome stuff. Tell me, have you guys considered math, not necessarily as a career, but something that would involve math? You know, engineering firms, architecture, be an awesome math teacher, science teacher. There's a lot of different avenues. You know, like there's the business world. There's like jobs like CFOs. Have you guys thought about that as math as a career?
Like I have thoughts about like becoming maybe professor or an engineer because I'm very STEM based. I'm a STEM based person. I do some debate and liberal arts, but that's not like a main focus. My main focus in school is probably math, and I've considered maybe a teaching career or engineering or computer science. I know that involves a lot of math, and yeah.
I haven't really thought about what I was going to do in the future. I do really like science, STEM-based things, so that's kind of what I've been leaning towards when I think about the future.
When I think about what I'm going to do when I'm older, typically what it falls into is computer programming or something in mathematics or engineering, but I haven't really gotten too deep into it.
No, you probably, there's more teammates, other people that are on your team?
Yeah.
Have you recruited people to be part of this? Like in a sport like track, for example, you can say you enjoy running. We can help you improve. Have you had your fellow teammates being in here and like their math has improved and maybe like they've come alive more in math class? Have you noticed stuff like that?
So I've got this friend, his name is Elvine. He's in the same math as me, but he's like in a different class. So he doesn't really like math counts, but I told him to join this year, and he did because he had nothing better to do. And, well, he did actually go through a competition, and I do think he made it to the countdown round, which is the top 12 participants in our chapter, which is pretty much the city competition, which was really nice because I don't think he could have done that without the training that he's been through this year. And yeah, I basically recruited him, and I don't know if he's gotten better, but he seems to enjoy it more.
You know, from a teacher perspective, we've seen a lot of kids who, these three have a unique experience because they started earlier in 5th or 6th grade, but there's a lot of kids that didn't, and then they come to 7th grade, and that's really the year where they get to be around other kids who like math. And so we see it, especially during the lunchtime practices, because we'll get like 30 or more kids in here practicing. And not all those kids necessarily want to go to the competition, but just to be around someone who's enjoying math. I mean, you don't see that often at this age, like it's the celebration of being a little bit nerdy on this time to time, nerd out on math, and we love it. So kids really, they might have come from an environment where they were the only person that was super into math, or they were leveled up in math, but now they're with other kids who are super into it, and they kind of come alive like that. And how many people do we take? So we have the 4 official members when we do a competition, and then we have 12 official individuals, and then we have a whole bunch of unofficial individuals. So we take a good 20 or more people to the competition. So much so that one year they got a little mad at us because it was too much purple. They were like, the purple's too intimidating, you can't bring so many people. But so yeah, it's a really strong program, and it's really celebratory of math, which is great.
I love it. Iron sharpens iron. That's an awesome thing, and I'm not mad at you guys, the Romig Trojans. So last question before, we're going to do actually something kind of cool. We're going to do our own little math counts against me. Granted, I went to school for journalism, so please excuse my mistakes in advance. Talk about, like, as you go into DC, what is it like? What is the competition like? For people that obviously can't be there. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, what will you do for the ones you're there?
You're the one been there.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I've been there 2 times. So basically, it's really fun. You fly to DC, you get free food, and yeah, and then you have the competition, which is typically on a Sunday morning, and it's really nerve-wracking. They roll out a red carpet for you, I'm pretty sure, so you can like feel really good as you walk towards the competition room. Afterwards, there's like the countdown round, which takes 12 people, and it's a buzzer competition, and it's really cool. And everybody who didn't make it there gets to watch. And then there's like an after party kind of. And like it's really cool, and you get to be around like so many people that just like love math. Like in Alaska, there's not a lot of people in general. Like we have like a very small population, but when you go to nationals, when you go to DC, you can meet like so many other people that actually enjoy math, and it's really great.
I love it. So we're gonna start this competition. It's gonna be, I think, three. How many? Three. We're gonna do 3 sample problems. I'm laughing because I'm not sure what I'm gonna go up against. It's gonna be interesting. So we're gonna do that right now. So we'll do that now.
Okay, first problem. Cheryl is counting backwards by 4. If the first number she says is 155 and the second number she says is 151, what is the 9th number Cheryl says?
Can I?
Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't even give me a chance, Brooke. I was close.
Yeah. Quote unquote close.
Okay, real quick, Grace. I'm sorry, Brooke. While we have you, how did you get that?
The problem is Cheryl's counting backwards by 4. First number she says is 155. And what is the 9th number she says? So the 9th number tells me that she's gonna skip 8 4s. So that's 4, that's 4, and that's 4. And then it goes 8 more times. So that I just did 155 minus 8 times 4.
Oh, that's good. All right.
And what is this amazing mathematical equation you got going here, Clay?
155 minus 4, minus 4, minus 4. I was going to get there. I just wasn't as fast as you were. Yeah.
All right. Problem 2. What is the difference between the maximum and minimum values of this function graphed on the coordinate plane?
Maximum and minimum values. I do not remember this from school. That's for sure.
7?
I'm still trying to figure out the maximum and minimum, just being honest. Oh, wow.
So the maximum value is 3, and then the minimum is -4. So it's the difference that you subtract. So 3 minus -4 makes it 7.
Very good. You're an awesome teacher, Grace. Thank you.
Problem 3. If 1 over b equals b over a and b equals -1, what is the value of a? Wow.
Maybe. I did that super fast. I don't know if I was. Oh, wait, he already. Oh, yeah, it is negative. Yeah. All right. So, same question, Luke. Tell me how you got that.
Okay, so pretty much, since it's -1, it's the same thing as multiplying by -1. So it's just 1 times -1 equals -1 times something, so it's 1.
Yep, that is good. I literally had the same answer, I just didn't put it out because 2 negatives equal positive. I was close, so that was good. Thank you, Luke. As you can see, I didn't do too well. I tried. Very awesome job by Brooke, Grace, and Luke. You saw that awesome celebration dance by Luke. I want to see some of that when you guys are in DC. Super awesome. So lastly, just kind of tell me, like, real quick, how you guys kind of came. You know, this is obviously part of your training, right? It was pretty fast, pretty quick. So you had to use like certain things of math, right, to figure that out. Can you kind of explain what you guys were doing there?
So, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Just kind of like, how did you guys did it super fast. And so obviously I could tell you were doing, there's certain things, once you heard certain words, like you immediately went into a mode. That's what I kind of felt like you were doing. Is that true or am I wrong? Like how did you get to the problem?
It takes a lot of practice. Like that's why I go over past questions, because you'll often see the same patterns repeated in competitions. And yeah, and so then you just like kind of recognize, oh, this is like this type of problem, and you take the methods from there.
I like that. Anybody else?
Sure. So kind of like what Brooke was saying, there's a lot of patterns in math counts. It's all problem solving. So I remember this one time I was doing like a math counts, I think it was, I don't know, it was chapter competition, and I had my sister go against me, and she's in college right now, so she much higher math than me, but I still beat her because I was like, I practiced math counts a lot, and it's a very specific kind of series of steps that you go through, and then she hasn't practiced in so long that I totally destroyed her, so.
That's true. I will say this, in the first problem, I sort of did, I just took a while to get there. Second problem, I just didn't even remember what class that was, so I apologize to my teachers in advance. And then the last one, I kind of did, I just didn't do it fast enough, so that was awesome. So I'm impressed. And Luke, go ahead.
Dark voodoo magic. Okay, but seriously, Brooke and Grace kind of covered most of it. And along with that, just guessing is sometimes a good strategy. Just doing an educated guess if you can't figure it out fast enough. Because you only have a certain amount of time to do every single problem, so the more problems you get done, the better. So if you need to put an answer on the paper, just look at it and think, yeah, 3 seems like a good guess.
I love it. So lastly, Mr. Walker, kind of talk, again, this is May 12th. The team will go down, and it'll be from a Sunday to a Friday. I'm sorry, Friday to a Sunday. And then then after that, we'll know like kind of the results from there.
Yeah, Brooke, did they announce the results at that? Like, do they have a final celebration where they announce all the final results? Yeah. So they do a big thing there. And then, we'll see how we do. It's really, like Brooke said, it's a kind of an eye-opening experience because you're going from a place where there's only so many people competing to like the entire nation, right? And you talk about really populous states who are heavily invested in this. So, we do okay, but there's just some people that, obviously have a lot more resources and stuff. California, Texas, some of these places. But it's really a great experience, and with the problem solving, it really is a lot of mental math where you learn these tricks and then they just become just like you would an athlete, right? Muscle memory, except it's just kind of math memory. You just know, oh, this problem, I know that I have to do this one trick, or this other problem, I know this is what I'm looking for. And like I was saying earlier, when you go to the competition, the adults will all be in the back watching, and they project the problem, and then someone reads the problem, and these guys will solve a problem before I'm done reading it, just because they can recognize, okay, I need this formula, or I need this. It's pretty impressive, and also very useful because you do have time tests later in life, like your SATs and things like that, and you have test-taking strategies in addition to these math tricks to solve these problems.
I love it. Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching ASD Shine Bright, the podcast with the Romig Mathletes. They said we've got problems. They definitely don't. Math is not one of them. I was going to make another joke, like 99 problems, but they're not one. That's another one I'll say. That's super funny. I was going along with the jokes there, but we really appreciate you guys. Good luck. You guys will do awesome. We'll be rooting for you at ASD. Again, guys, please watch the ASD Shine Bright podcast. We're on Spotify, YouTube, all over social media. We'll see you next time.